Ah! Rotate there. What's up, y'all? This is your boy Gerald. Yeah, I know I've been putting out a lot of videos as of late, but hey, that's just is required. But it's all good because it makes sense in the intended time. So how are you? Peace and blessings to each and every one of you, and thank you for each and every one of you that have taken the time to reach out. As I always say, like, subscribe, or don't like. I would love to hear your feedback. But if, by chance, you need some sound advice or just trying to receive some validation, do not hesitate. Hit me with the inbox. I'd love to hear from you. So, got in yesterday, and we're in the midst of fall. The leaves are turning from green to brown, and you're seeing the foliage, and it's beautiful. Matter of fact, I plan on in a couple weeks going to the mountains. It's like, hey, gotta fill up the Jeep, and I'm gonna head up to the Shenandoahs for a little bit, even if I can just go for a day. But I would love to go up there and just look over and take it all in, So, when I was driving on the traffic, I was driving last night, right? And here in Virginia Beach, in this area, we're dealing with fog now, and it can be a little crazy. It surprises me how many accidents, But as always, when I'm driving, I'm always in deep in thought, And I'm here to tell you this right now. You need to stop beating yourself up. You need to stop being your worst critic, because, see, what you fail to realize is you are actually in a process of transformation of self. So this is a process that once you decide to embrace it, because it is you, things are going to be made revealed that you didn't know. What you hear right now is a song called Brother's Gonna Work It Out. It's by Willie Hutch. I've got my music channel on. Some of my hip-hop heads realize that sample too, because Dr. Dre used it on the Chronic album. And it just made the synchronicity of what I need to say to you. You're going to work it out. But you got to allow yourself to work it out. Now, it takes 100% effort to be you, which I keep saying you're priceless. But you got to allow yourself to embrace that. because there's only one you. So, with that being said, are you living your life like so many people thinking ahead? You're living by day by day. You know, a lot of people do that. They're like, well, you know what, Joe, I ain't got time to think about what's going on next week because I got to make it through today. Well, that's where balance comes in. Do you realize we are a month and a half away from ushering in a new year? You're going to have new experiences. You're going to have new revelations. You're going to have new connections. And unfortunately, there are going to be challenges, connections that you made this year that won't follow you into 2015. That's the natural process of transformation. So the question is, are you going to be prepared for what is going to be revealed for you? See, haven't you noticed far too many people play with their lives because they think that you promise to see tomorrow, which is the greatest illusion ever embraced by mankind, because you can go and lay down for a nap now and you're not guaranteed that you can open your eyes when it's over. You do not promise that. You don't have control over your breathing or your involuntary organs inside. You can't say, well, if I go to sleep, you better keep beating. If I turn around and take this nap, you better continue to breathe until my brain says wake up. You don't have control of that. You don't. But far too many times people think they are in control of it all. And I keep trying to tell you, the sooner that you take a position of humility, the sooner you will get your life in the direction, in the proper placement where you envision it to be. But you got to be truthful to yourself. You got to be truthful to yourself. You got to forgive yourself. Stop allowing people that don't have the right or the faculties at this moment, not saying that they can't, but it's a choice that they won't, access to you. That's just like giving a burglar the keys to your house and allowing them to run shop. Why would you do that? I tell you why. Because people don't know if they're coming and going. They choose to live in a place of influx and make impulsive decisions and have the audacity to get upset. But when you look at it, think about how many times you had someone or some sign divinely placed for you to take heed, but because of your arrogance, your pompousness, you said, I'm going to do it my way, only to pay the price. 2015 is not going to be that year for y'all if you're willing to invest in your life. I had a conversation with somebody, and they were very they shared some things about their life that was very hard. They went through some stuff, right? And because of these experiences, they felt that they had the right to have a certain disposition because of where they came through. what they went through. And I told them, I said, do you not realize that your life was so special, that old devil had to attack you when you were young? Because guess what? He couldn't afford for you to come into your own, because if he knew that you had just a twinkling of an idea of where you going, he knew that he could not put his hooks in you. So guess what? You had to go through some things. You had some injustices be bestowed in your life. You had to go through a lot of periods of pain, and you cried your ass off. You went through what it felt like to feel alone, and times that you may have even thought that you were crazy. But you know what's so sad about it all? You even had the audacity to contemplate ending it all. You said, well, you know what, Gerald? If I just took those pills and went to sleep, I could just erase the pain. I wouldn't have to suffer no more. I wouldn't live in this hell that I'm in now. You know why you're in the hell that you're in now? Because you refuse to love yourself. So guess what? It's another day that it sticks around. You will refuse to do what you need to do. So guess what? There's another day that people that are in the midst of you can run shop in your life, because you refuse to love yourself. So guess what? You find it more convenient to play a position instead of lead your life. God forbid that you ground your feet, because you're afraid that if you ground your feet, what you think is your reality will be taken away. But guess what? It's not yours anyway. It never was. But, you know, and here's the crazy part about it. This planet has over 6 billion people on it. 6 billion. So let's take that number and cut it in half. 3 billion. 3 billion people choose not to love themselves. Now, the point I'm trying to make is this. If those 3 billion saw their worth, did the things they needed to do, spoke their truth, had courage to not run from life, but embrace life because you define your life, don't you think we would be in a better place as what we know as society? Don't you realize the people that choose to use deception, manipulation, or have a pride or arrogant stance secretly do not love themselves? So, proverbially, misery loves company, and the games will continue to be played, because you must have a willful player in the mix of it. And you know, I've noticed this, and correct me if I'm wrong. When you look at anything on TV, let's take the reality show. Why does each and every person on any one of those shows look like they need to be with a therapist? Why is it not addressed? Because that makes ratings. God forbid that you have control of your life. And here's the thing about it. Behind closed doors, They self-medicate. They self-medicate because they got to continue to keep the denial going. And that self-medication may be done through cigarettes, through alcohol, from sex. You do realize sex can be looked at as an addiction, a drug, an emotional drug to mask pain. That's why players play. Come on now. But don't you realize a player never wins? Far too many times, the player always gets captured by the game. There's no winners in that. Eventually, you will find yourself taking stock in where you are and looking at what was used as the bartering chip for your life. And you will have to make a choice if it was worth it. We have to take stock in our life, y'all. 2015 is right around the corner. But here's the funny thing about this, because I'm not going to make this long. What amazes me is there's so much pain that people carry that, like I always say, they wear a mask. They want to convince you through distraction because of what they wear or what they drive or what they have in the bank that they've got their life together. But yet, these are the same people that are paranoid. These are the same people that cannot be alone. These are the same people that always got to be in the mix. But these are also the same people that end up being consumed by their own drama. And the question is why? I'll tell you why. It's because you refuse to look at your life for what it is. That's why you feel the guilt that you feel. That's why you feel the shame you feel. That is why you got emotional baggage wherever you go. But don't you realize every time you go from one place to the next, it's never better. It's always the same. Why? Because like-minded attracts like-minded. And isn't that a disservice? I had somebody tell me, I'm going to keep 100 with y'all. They were like, Gerald, why are you being a hater? What's wrong with going to the club? What's wrong with meeting somebody? You have every right to do what you see fit. It's your life. But if you're using the tactics, notice I said tactics, to attract someone other than yourself, well, guess what? You've already lost. It's a matter of time before you're exposed for who you are. When you could be you could be courageous and say, hey, this is who I am. And if they earn the right, first of all, you can't be friends with everybody. My queens, how many times have you learned that lesson? You confide in someone to turn around and they turn around and throw it right back in your face. And you're saying, well, why did she do this to me? I thought she really cared. No, because we live in a world of opportunists. We live in a world where manipulation is accepted. That is why I will always convey, be the exception to the rule. I know somebody's saying, well, Gerald, you don't understand. You're right, I don't understand. But I've been there. I've seen it on both levels. I've been there. I was that guy. But you know what's so amazing? Because I love me. And I can openly say this. It wasn't until 2 years ago, but especially this year, I had a lot of shame for the choices I made. You said, what do you mean, Gerald? See, for my family that are 35, 45, I guarantee you a nickel to a dime, you had to go through a place in yourself where you went through the connections, the liaisons, the stolen moments, the things that were done behind closed doors because you just wanted to feel the touch of another human being. But the question should be asked is, if it was divinely meant, why did it always end up not lasting? Why did it feel like it had pain connected to it? So what I'm saying to you is this. I got to a point, I was like, you know what? I repented. And, I realized that, Gerald had boundary issues. Gerald was allowing affiliations with women that I shouldn't have. Yeah, there were women in my life that did not deserve to hear me speak nor breathe because they never saw my worth. They only saw the opportunity to benefit. Now, I know somebody's saying right now, Joe, you crying over spilled milk. No, I am not. Because one thing I can say with my head up high is this. See, there's one thing to act like a good guy and be a good guy. There's a difference. You have morals. So, the one thing I pride myself with, I correct myself, I am proud, is that I made sure that any woman that was in my life knew she was special. But it wasn't until a period of maturity had to happen. I didn't think the way I'm thinking now that I thought about in my 20s. No, I didn't even know who I was. And for my family that are in your 20s, heed the word of a brother. The person that you are is not the person that you're going to be, God willing, when you're 30. The person that you are now, the person that are in your 30s, you're going to not have the same mindset that you're going to have, God willing, in your 40s. My kings, it does seem fun when you are running around like a thief in the night. But you'll come to realize you are only thieving. The thievery was your time, your resources, and sadly, your physical essence that you gave to someone that never had intentions nor the courage to be truthful, to tell you, hey, look, I just need you for the night. I just need you to stick around and play this position. I need you to pretty much run roughshod and pretty much be a benefactor. What woman would do that? I'll tell you, a woman that's very dangerous, but sadly does not know herself. That is why society will be bold to tell you this. You can't do what men do. You can think like a man all you like, but it will not be condoned. But you're saying, well, Gerald, that's a double standard, because it is. But on the flip side, to reinforce the bad behavior, society says, no, think like you're independent. You need an independent woman. No. What society should say is, you should be a responsible woman. Because you're an adult, so you should be required to take care of yourself. Because that is the same thing that is required for each man. But because you have a monetary position, or you think that because of what appendage is found below, that gives you permission to carry on and wreak havoc. In my case, I'm here to tell you, if you do not get it together, you are going to inherit a pain so deep that it will shake you to the core. Because every endeavor that you have willfully decided to do, guess what? Until your last breath, you will see it play out in your life. So you shouldn't do it. Heed the word of a brother. I know there's some women out here that say, well, you know what, Gerald? All men are dogs. You hear that so much. Well, why don't you call a spade and admit you hate men? You hate them. But more importantly, you don't know how to make sound decisions for what's best for you. Because you don't know all men, but you damn sure try. So the apple doesn't fall far from the tree. Now you may wonder why I'm putting this out. It's time to get real with your life, y'all. It's time. Do not take whatever challenges that you got going on right now into your new year. You will be setting yourself up with so much pain. So don't do it. Don't do it. Somebody told me the other day, they were saying, well, Gerald, why is it when we have people that, like, especially where I work for the government, I said, why you don't never say goodbye to people? And I told him, I said, well, because if it's divinely meant, I'll see him again. And if it's meant for my life individually, I will see him again. So I'm going to always put an optimism behind it. I'm going to always do that. But it's important that you take control and responsibility for your life. Stop sitting up here trying to validate your life by what your girlfriend doing. If your girlfriend is not walking in a positive light, well, guess what? That's a reflection of you, because what friend would do that? And the question is, what's the attraction? Because shouldn't a friend, that should be a prized and protected title. But you know, a lot of people don't know what that word is. They don't. So, but I will say this, and I'm going to leave it alone. That is a blessing in disguise. Because guess what? I keep trying to tell you. There are some people that come into your life to validate where you are and to inspire you where you're headed. But on the flip side, there are also those people that are tied to your legacy. So you're going to see them anyway. because there's a lesson or experience that both of you are tied together, and until it comes to pass, you know, it's really in preparation until it's revealed. But just know this: you can't walk with somebody that's not willing to grow, y'all. So you need to pump your brakes on that. Stop trying to hold on to affiliations that don't deserve to be held on to, because it's not productive. If you're working on yourself, shouldn't your circle be working on themselves too? Even if there's a period of distance, because you know, a true friend, you could talk to them now and 6 months down the road, and guess what? That bond that you guys will feel still like the first time you met. Because that's what love is. That's what love is, fostering, that, the connection. But at a minimum, you should be able to be vulnerable with that person. That person is more or less like a spiritual brother or sister. Because guess what? They see the real you. They know the real you. Well, here's the crap. Here's the kicker on that. They're not going to accept your BS either, because they know and they want what's best for you. But if your affiliations feels like a come up, or you feel like it's one-sided, they ain't your friends. They never were. They were just people that were leeching off of you. So take the high road, sever your connections. When's the last time you looked in your contacts and your cell phone and did some assessments that these people deserve to have access to you at any time? For those that are in social media, when's the last time you looked at your friends list and said, well, you know what do I have in common with this person? Why does this person have access to me? Did they do what was required to earn the right for me to feel trustworthy so that we can communicate? If they've done nothing and it's given willingly, well, guess what? They're just waiting to take advantage. So don't do yourself a disservice. Don't. And guess what? If friendships come, friendships go. But if it's divinely meant, you'll see them again. You will see them again. And as I said before in my last video, it'll play out in two ways. Number one, you'll see that these people earned the right to walk with you, or they were just aligned in the weight and you were being protected all along. So don't worry if you don't hear from them. If they're not bringing anything to the table to better your life emotionally, then you got to question why you there and why they have access to you. You realize we're getting ready to enter into a new year? You do realize that, right? Blink twice, you'll be pulling that turkey right out of the oven. And oh yes, your boy is cooking. Just like I did before, I'm going to put a video out there. And you guys have a little sneak peek on what old Gerald did. Yeah, because I like to cook too. That's right. My mom taught me how to cook when I was 10 years old. But, you know, some things I had to learn, you know, through experience. But I love to cook. I do. Lastly, I was wondering, I'm considering on doing a hangout session where you can ask questions. And, you know, I would like to work on the connection of the subscribers. I haven't decided when I would do it, but right off the bat I would like to know, would you guys be interested in doing a little meet and greet with me? I would love to hear from you guys and get your feedback, and if there's anything that I can change, I would love to know. But in the interim, stay positive. Don't sweat the small stuff. Don't claim the stuff in the cheap seats, and have the courage to speak your truth, okay? Because you got one life. You guys don't realize you guys got a lot of blessings coming next year, but you gotta be prepared to receive them. So you gotta get rid of the clutter so you can walk forth and claim what's rightfully yours. As I always say, God is praying for you. You know I am. I see your worth. And for that, it helps me discern mine. And by the way, when's the last time you told yourself that you love you? It all starts with you, y'all. It all starts with you. So claim you. And by the way, you know I'm going to say, if you don't have a relationship with your higher power, he's waiting on you. He's not going to give you something you can't deal with, but he's not going to bless you with something that you're not able to sustain. That's how it works. So sow that seed by claiming your life and building a relationship with your higher power. Alright guys, love to hear from you. Like, subscribe, and if you don't like, it's cool too. I'd love to hear from you. Have a blessed week. Bye.